Hello. Okay, so we are going to all right, we're gonna continue practicing with multiplying decimals, and we're gonna use the Halloween task cards that you guys completed on Friday, and we're gonna go over them. So what I want you to do is to practice. I know you did these, so if you have your old work from Friday that you wrote them down with, that's awesome. Get that out. If not, I want you to get out another sheet of paper and practice going over these with me. Okay? Because every time I do a video and I'm writing, I want you to be able to write as well. All right, so I'm going to bring up these task cards and I'm going to write down the problem on paper and then go over them with you. All right, so the first one is 1 3/10 times 2. That looks like a Z, but I promise it was supposed to be a 2. All right, so, got a tickle. All right, so we're going to multiply 2 times 3 first, which is 6, because we line up the numbers when we multiply. All right, and so then we're going to say 2 times 1 is 2. And how many places after the decimals do I have? Well, I only have 1. So remember that behind every whole number, there is a decimal. So you're going to pick that decimal up and you're going to move it 1 time. So our new number is going to be 2 6/10. So I saw on the virtual Virginia content, the stuff that I put in there, but you don't see me. It's just a practice. One of the things that the lady did a video on, she said to check yourself, round 1 3, 1 3/10. Well, that's going to be closest to 1. And then 2 is 2. And if you multiply that, that's going to be 2. So your answer should be somewhere around 2. And 2 6/10 is close to 2, okay? So the answer to that first one was 2 6/10. All right, let's go back. All right, the second one. Please make sure you are writing these down with me or checking your work from Friday. Oops. Well, I'm helping. Okay, so 2 2/10 times 4. Now let's do what the lady said on the video we watched. I believe it was today. Let's look and see. So 2 2/10 is going to round to about 2. That 4 is 4. You multiply that. So we're looking for an answer of around 8. Okay. So 4 times 2 is 8. 4 times 2 is 8. How many numbers are after the decimal in my problem? And that is 1. So I'm going to pick up my decimal after my whole number, and I'm going to move it 1 time. So my answer is 8 8/10. Okay? All right, let's go back to problem. All right, so the next problem is 25 hundredths times 3. 25 hundredths times 3. All right, so 3 times 5 is 15. Carry my 1. 3 times 2 is 6, plus 1 is 7. And I have 1, 2. I have 2 numbers after the decimal. Okay? So I'm going to go 1, 2. So the answer was 75 hundredths. Please make sure you're checking your work from Friday or writing this down. All right. So our next problem is 41 hundredths times 5. All right, 41 hundredths times 5. Okay, so think about what the first step we're going to do. Well, we've lined up our numbers, okay? So now we're going to look at multiplying. 5 times 1 is 5. 5 times 4 is 20. I have 2 decimals after the 2 places after the decimals. And so after every whole number, that invisible math, there's a decimal. I'm going to move it twice. 1, 2. So my answer is 2 and 5 what? 500ths. Remember that if you can't remember the names of the decimal places, write your 1 under the decimal and then put your zeros. So that lets me know that I'm going to say 500ths, okay? All right. Let's look at the next problem. 6 and 5/10 times 7. Now, you don't have to write this 0 right here. That's just a placeholder. Okay. 7 times 5 is 35. Put my 5 there, carry my 3. 7 times 6 is 42. Plus 3 would be 45. And then I have 2 places after my decimals. I'm going to pick that decimal up and I'm going to swoop it. I forgot to swoop. I'm going to swoop it. Swoop, swoop. And that is going to be 4 and 55/100ths. Okay. All right. All right, let's try another one. 7 and 4/10 times 5/10. All right, we're going to say first we've lined up the numbers. And we're going to say 5 times 4 is 20. So you put your 0, carry your 2. 5 times 7 is 35. Plus 2 is 37. Looking at the numbers after the decimals, I have 2. So I'm going to put my decimal after that whole number, or, at the end. And then I'm going to swoop it 2 times. Swoop, swoop. So my answer is 3 and 7/10. Now, this is one where you could leave the 0, okay, and say 3 and 7/100ths, or you could say 3 and 7/10. Both numbers are correct. It just depends on how you say it. All right, 4 more. 3 and 47/100ths times 8. Okay. All right, our numbers are lined up, and we're going to say 8 times 7 is 56. I put my 6, carry my 5. 8 times 4 is 32, plus my 5 is 37. Yes. I put my 7 there, I carry my 3. And then I'm going to say 8 times 3 is 24, plus 3 is 27. All right, now, right, 24. Yeah, 27. I put 37. I knew I had made a mistake somewhere. All right, so I've got 2 numbers after my decimal. I'm going to pick up my invisible decimal here, okay, and I'm going to swoop it twice. Swoop, swoop. My answer is 27 and 76/100ths. All right. Let's, okay. Let's go to the next problem. And it is 7 and 38 times 4. All right. Ready? And let's multiply. 4 times 8 is 32. So you put your 2, carry your 3. 4 times 3 is 12. Plus 3 would be 15. You put your 1 up there. 4 times 7 is 28. Plus your 1 is 29. All right, looking at the numbers after the decimals, that is going to be 2. Okay? All right, I'm going to pick up my decimal and I'm going to move it how many times? 2. All right, ready? Swoop, swoop. Our answer to that one is 29 and 52 hundredths. All right, I think we're going to get into the little more difficult ones. Yeah, so the last two have 2 by 2 digit. So we have 8 and 9 tenths times 5 and 6 tenths. Okay. All right, so we're going to multiply the 6 with the numbers on top first. 6 times 9 is 54. I put my 4. I carry my 5. 6 times 8 is 48 plus my 5 would be what? 48 plus 5, 48, 49, 50, 51, 52, 53. So you put your 3 and then your 5. And then now I'm going to put a what? A 0. You're going to hold that place. 5 times 9 is 45. You put your 5, you carry your 4. 5 times 8 is 40, and then you add your 4, so it would be 44. And you're going to add that up. 4 plus 0 is 4. 3 plus 5 is 8. 5 plus 4 is 9, and then you bring down your 4. So now you're going to look and see how many decimals, how many numbers came after the decimal in the original problem, and that is 2. So I'm going to pick up my invisible decimal, and I'm going to go swoop, swoop. And so I'm going to rewrite my answer, and the answer is 49 and 84 thousandths. Okay. Oops. I'll do that every time when I'm trying to go to another one. Okay, so now we have 35 and 8 tenths times 2 and 6 tenths. Okay. All right, so we have 3 digit by 2 digit, but we're going to do the same thing. Multiply the 6 first and then go to the 2. So 6 times 8 is 48. Put your 8, carry your 4. 6 times 5 is 30, plus my 4 is going to be 34. So put your 4, put your 3. 6 times 3 is 18, plus 3 is going to be 21. All right, I'm going to cross out the numbers on top. Then I'm going to put a placeholder. And then I'm going to say 4 times 8 is 16. Cross them out 2. Put my 6 here, carry my 1. 2 times 5 is 10, plus 1 is 11. Put my 1, carry my 1. 2 times 3 is 6, plus 1 is 7. And now you just have to add that up. 8 plus 0 is 8. 4 plus 6 is 10. Carry your 1. 1 plus 1 is 2, plus 1 is 3. And then 7 plus 2 is 9. Go back to your original problem. You have 2 decimal spots in the original problem, and so you're going to pick up that decimal and swoop it twice. Whoop, whoop. So your answer is 93 and 8 hundredths. So I hope you felt successful with those and realized that you probably, got those answers right. And if you, let me just toggle back and forth 20 times. If today you're going to work on multiplication in an assignment, and then you will do an exit ticket. All right. I will talk to you guys in science. Bye.